I did the worst thing you could do in India and I ended up in hospital. Have you seen them videos where Indians stir food with their fingers? They're all over the internet. The food that you should never, ever touch. And I tried myself some of that finger milk. This guy's been on the street for over 17 years making this. And I literally mean on the street. He's on his hands and knees. Look at his feet. Look at them nails. What was going through my mind when I drank this? The guy making the drink was a holy man, so I had a bit of trust in him, but I probably shouldn't have. After drinking the drink, I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, and I continued on with my day like nothing ever happened. I went and kicked it with some bubbers, did some holy rituals, you know, the average day in India, but it all changed that night. I woke up at 7 p.m, violently vomiting. I couldn't control anything inside me, it was just coming out. 7 a.m. in the morning, I finally stopped. I felt relieved, but had a crazy fever. Later that evening, the fever had got way too much for me and I had to call in a doctor. You know, I normally gauge a doctor based off how they look, and this doctor had a very nice briefcase, so I trusted everything he said, and I took the medicine he gave me. In fact, what he'd done is he prescribed medicine that kick-started the bacteria into overdrive inside my stomach. And the next thing I know, instead of coming out of my mouth, it was coming out of the other end. After this going on for 2-3 hours, I knew it was time to go to the hospital. My good friend Deepak and Andy loaded me into Uber and wheelchaired me into the hospital. The first thing they did when I got to the hospital was take my temperature. I was 102.5, which is insane temperature. In India, everyone just wants to look and stare at you because they've not seen a foreigner before. So I've got people coming into my hotel room asking for selfies, just coming in pretending to do random jobs just to look at me dying in my bed. All while this is going on, the number 2 movements have turned from brown to bright green, showing the infection is building and getting stronger. The doctors act quick and put me on IVs and antibiotics. But guess what? The bacteria starts breeding again, and now we've moved from brown to green to blood. The only thing I'm passing now is blood, so things are getting quite serious and I'm quite scared. Each day I was trying to get feedback on what was wrong with me, but the doctors would give me little information. After multiple stool samples, blood samples, ultrasounds, I wasn't finding out what was wrong with me. I'm not a but I grew up not liking blood. And in the middle of one of my fever dreams, I wake up and decide I need to get hydrated. When I move the covers off of me, one of the nurses has forgotten to close the valve on the needle in my arm, and I'm just squirting blood everywhere. It's on the sheets, it's all over me, so I start freaking out. After this, I felt really unsafe in the hospital. If the hospital can't do one thing, like make sure I'm not bleeding out, how are they gonna get me better? I'm now back in Bangkok and I've got a series of tests to find out what's actually wrong with me, and I'll keep you guys updated.